Well, howdy, kids. I know it's been a while. Been really busy in the new digs. Hard to find time to make videos, except for the videos I make for my classes, that kind of thing. Um, so it's a little down right now. It's a little slow. Times early in the morning. Not a lot of people come in this early in the morning. Might be clear till the lunchtime rush. Um, Figured I'd bust out a video for y'all. This thing's kind of jumping around. I hope it's not going to do that in the final video. It's lagging a bit on my end. Hopefully not lagging on your end. We'll figure it out in the editing process. Hi, I'm Birch. Merry meet again. Today's episode, How Magic Works, Part 3. Because I looked online, I thought I already had a part 3, but I only see 2 of them there, so hopefully it won't be part 4, because then I'll look really stupid right now. First thing I'd like to cover today is the magic of effort. Effort. The work that you put into your spell, your magic, whatever it is you're doing, is part of the magic. I just had a conversation with somebody not that long ago. I was talking to, and they were having like a really hard time finding all the components for their spell. They had to go all over town to different places, and very aggravated about it. You know, so I texted back. I said, the legwork is part of the spell. So the more legwork you have to do for it, the more power the spell is going to have in it. The spell starts working before you cast the spell. As soon as you've decided to do this spell and start gathering your components, figuring out, a good phase of the moon, a good day of the week for you to work the spell's working. And the spell may start to manifest before that, but it's still necessary to finish the steps. What I've noticed, because I keep good notes, like I teach all my students to keep good notes, because the only way you're going to figure out all the weird ways that magic works is to keep good notes and be able to look back, 20/20 hindsight, see how those things manifest. And you may find, as I've found from my notes over the years, that some spells are manifesting before they're cast. Some spells, like I said, some are starting to work as you gather your stuff, but you may find that some spells, the gears started turning to make those spells manifest into physical reality before you started doing any. Because that was necessary. Because to make your will manifest, it was necessary for the gears to start turning when they started turning. Now in that, I've had to wrap my head around a theory that magic, as we know it, does not recognize the space-time continuum as we know it. Magic, it may be necessary for the spell to go back several weeks to bring you the manifestation when the manifestation is needed. And so my theory then is that even we're doing the spell over here, the energy went back over here, back before we did the spell, to start the gears turning, to make the thing manifest. It's still necessary to do what you're doing right here, though, to make that manifest all the way. So magic does not recognize a lot of the laws that we think of, like time. That would pose some interesting questions for magical timing, but I'll leave that out there for you. So the theory here that Birch is throwing out is that magic time travels. Magic time travels back in time when necessary and starts the gears a turning to make your will manifest when you need it to manifest. Something to wrap your head around. But like I always say here, go big or go home. If you're going to try and change your exterior world using your mind, using your magic, using your Wuji skills, then it's something important to you, right? Be it a money spell, love spell, protection spell, uncrossing, housing, whatever your job spell, whatever you're going to do, it's important, right? So you don't want to skimp. You want to put out the effort. It used to be, of course, the magic of creation is always powerful. And it's always been, hi, Tito. It's always been said to be more powerful if you make your own stuff, if you make your own tools, if you craft all of the things you're going to be crafting with. That's a dying art. Few people have the time to do all that anymore. So over the years, I've seen that change. You go to work, probably. I don't know all of you. Maybe you're independently wealthy. If so, send me a check. But you go to work. You put effort out to make dollars, or dollars, pounds, rupees, shekels, wherever you live, whatever your monetary denominations of money is called. You go to work, put out the effort to make those dollars. And this has always been hard for me. This is one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around, being a store owner. I didn't even accept that I was a business owner for a long time. I was always, very much a DIY person. And so when I became a business owner, I just, DIY it on a larger scale. Do it myself, but make a big batch for other people, for you, for the people that come into the store and stuff. So you may not have time to, carve your tools, to, forge your own blade, to make your incense, make your oils, what have you. But you put the effort out at work. Those dollars, shekels, whatever you call them, those are symbolic of the effort, the work, the slaving, the angst you went through, the assholes you had to put up with at work. It's symbolically important. So when you lay those things down to buy things to do magic with, there's the effort. The effort's translating through your dollars. So part of the effort is, you already did that at work. You already did a lot of the effort at work. And now you're spending that. But you had to go out into the world. Either you had to sit on the computer and search all over the internet to find the things that you needed. That's effort. You had to go out into the world. You had to drive to an occult store, or a new age store, or an herb store. Get whatever you were going to get. That's effort. That's going into your spell. That's part of your spell. So one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is when we think about that, when we think about that the spell's already happening as we're putting it together, we need to keep our brain in the right frame of mind as we're doing it. Don't get all negative and tweaky. Don't have road rage when you're driving to the witch store. Try and keep your mind focused. Have a good attitude. The spell's already happening. You're already putting the energy for it. And then we get to the go big or go home thing. Countless times we teach people here. We teach people all day. I'm teaching spells. I'm teaching magic. Not just here at YouTube, but here in my store, in my life. And people will come in. I really need money. I really need a job. I really need protection. And so I'll walk over to the supplies. I'll grab me a candle, an oil, an incense, a mojo bag, a powder, maybe some herb, whatever we're gonna do. Some Florida water, and grab all those components. And for a good spell, I don't go nuts. I don't get a million things off the shelves and try and bilk people out of all their dollars. But I put together a good, adequate spell. Teach them how to do it. Countless times after I've done all that, after I've explained all that, people want to chintz. It's a money spell, but they don't want to throw out money. Well, you got to spend money to make money. You've heard that before, right? Magically, that's an entirely different context. The laws of attraction, with throwing it out, it comes back in. If we're not throwing it out, it's not going to come back in. If we're sitting on it, it's not going to come back in. If we're packing it away and saving it, it's not going to come back in. Nothing is going to be coming to you unless you're throwing it out. So when you're putting together your spell, it's the last thing you want to do. You taint the spell when you do that. You cheapen it. If I've got an oil, a candle, an incense, a mojo bag, teach you how to do it, and you go, maybe I'll just try the candle. I can only afford the candle today, whatever it is. They'll skimp. Not everybody, but a lot of people will skimp. I'll show them exactly what to do, the right components that'll get the job done, and then they just want to try one thing. Like, why don't I just get the mojo bag? And it'll have an effect. It will work. The mojo bag will work. The mojo bag with the candle, with the oil, with the incense, done at the right phase of the moon, the right time of the week, the right focus, using your 3 keys of magic, that'll work better. So, do you want a little, or do you want a lot? If doing a money spell, you probably didn't, want to get, 20 bucks, unless, really 20 bucks is going to save your life. You probably wanted to, have enough to not be stressed, have enough to pay your rent, have enough to pay your bills. So, you shell out, 20 bucks worth of spell components. You put the energy behind it, you put your focus behind it, and that's going to work a lot better than your $2 of spell components. Small magics will have an effect. Larger magics will have a larger effect. The more effort you put into it, the better it is. So adding components, so like I said, a mojo bag is a cool magic charm. You carry it around in your pocket. It has an effect. You anoint that mojo bag with the appropriate oil. That's adding on another effect. More effect. You have a candle appropriate to that oil, or appropriate to that purpose. You inscribe that candle. You sigilize that candle. With your statement of intent. This is all effort. The effort was going in when you made the statement of intent. The effort was going in when you made your statement of intent into a sigil. If none of this makes sense, I have videos on all these things that I just talked about. The statement of intent, the 3 keys of magic, sigil magic, all these things. I've got videos right there, so you can backtrack and figure out what it is I'm talking about. But each one of those things you did, each one of those actions you took, was part of the magic. Now, the laws of physics say every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We're not just working with the laws of physics, however. We're working with the laws of metaphysics, and they're way more malleable and harder to track and gauge than your standard laws of physics. And the law of metaphysics, in this vein, says every action has a reaction. Not necessarily equal and not necessarily opposite. Everything that we do in the ritual space, every action we take, has a reaction. From lighting the candle, lighting the incense, cleaning your house with the Florida water, the physical effort you actually did mopping the house, or if you're a broom witch, the sweeping that you do, the actual physical effort that you do is going towards the spell. So you might want to keep that in mind when we're in circle, or when we're doing a spell. Sitting there, focusing is one thing. Walking in place and focusing is another thing. We're putting energy out towards the thing. Jumping jacks, dancing, running, chanting in Greek, whatever you add to that. And the fact that you had to go and learn enough Greek to do that chant, that effort went into your spell. So go big or go home. If it's important enough, don't scrimp. I've rarely seen a magic spell that is going to break you. Like I said, 20 bucks, 20, 30, sometimes larger spell, maybe, upper 30s. Several magics, at least the stuff that we put together. I'm sure other people out there, sell far more expensive products, but we make the stuff that we're going to use for our spells. We make our oils, our incense, our brews, uh, potions, lotions, sprays, waters. Uh, we make all that stuff. So our effort is going into your spell too, and I want your spells to succeed. So I thought I should make a video about this. I may have touched on this in other videos, but I haven't ranted about it enough. All those little things are effort. If you go to the witch store and you get your this, that, and the other. Oh, they're out of this thing. Oh, I'm gonna have to go, across town to get another thing. Or they don't carry that thing. Oh, I'm gonna have to go across town to get that thing. That spell's gonna be stronger. The energy you expended to drive across town for that purpose is now part of the spell. And that's far more powerful than substituting or skipping parts. If you have a spell, you've picked out a spell, you're going to do this spell. Unless you run across things that don't exist anymore, extinct plant species, stuff that just isn't around anymore, well, then you may have to substitute. But just don't substitute as a substitution for effort. Don't try and make the spell easier. Matter of fact, make the spell harder. It's going to work better for you. You stand on one foot, naked in the cold. It might be harder to concentrate, but that energy is going to go into your spell. So it seems like I could just keep going on and re-elaborating in different words on the same points, but main points of the video. Magic as we know it does not recognize the space-time continuum as we know it. The spell starts working as you're putting the spell together, and sometimes before the universe knew that you were going to do that spell. So it starts the gears turning back here. That and go big or go home. Do it big, do it right. Don't dabble with things that are important enough to do a spell for. If it wasn't an important thing, you probably wouldn't be doing magic for it anyway. So treat it as it's important and do all the things that you can in that spell. I mentioned, candles, incense, oils, bath, magical bath. It's great. It heats up your body. I've never heard anybody. I've heard plenty of people talk about the relaxation effects of a magical bath, but not the heating effect. In hoodoo that comes up a lot. Old folk magic here in America that comes up a lot. You eat ginger or something or garlic before the spell to heat you up from the inside. Because physics, where you have heat, you have energy. So we're heating ourselves up on the inside. Well, a bath does that too. Yes, it relaxes us. It heats us up. It's really easy to enter a trance state in a nice hot bath. And then you've also got, your magical bath components. Is it a money bath, a protection bath, a love bath? You're immersed in those components. You're immersed in those herbs, those oils, that energy that those people put into it. Every step, everything that you can add to it, from the timing, the perfect day, the perfect moon phase, all that thing, everything, just looking those things up on the calendar is part of the energy for the spell. So I'm Birch. That's what I had to say today. Go big or go home. Marry me. Marry apart. Marry me.